Hey, sixth graders. Muy buenos días. Es el lunes, el 17 de abril 2020. This is Rafael Nadal. He is a very famous jugador de tenis from España. Okay, so if there are any tennis players among you, you are probably familiar with this person. Esta persona se llama Rafael Nadal. All right, guys, let's look at the week ahead in Spanish for 6th grade. All right, so we're going to review subject pronouns, which you should have already by watching the previous Edpuzzle video, in which a lady I found on the internet does an excellent job explaining the different subject pronouns, the different Spanish subject pronouns, what they mean, how they're used, etc. This is a very important thing to know well, because it's going to be the base, the foundation of our Spanish journey together as we continue through middle school. Today we're going to spend some time reviewing AR verb conjugations. Later on in the week I'm going to introduce new vocabulary. This next one's for Courtney only. As you guys know, Courtney is in advanced Spanish, so she and I are working in the Spanish 3 grammatical textbook from AMSCO. So for Courtney, at some point during the day, either today or tomorrow, you need to send me your answers to parts A and B. And I think we discussed that those start on page 15. So if at some point you could send those to me so I could check for mistakes, that would be great. Okay, you can do it. Let's go. So again, you guys need to start getting organized. And what I mean is, you need to have an organized approach to Spanish class. So when I tell you to write something down, if I say, if you write this down, it's going to benefit you, it's a good idea to do that. So you probably already have this written down from a previous lesson. So if you do, and you know where to find these notes, go ahead and get them out, because what we're looking at still are AR verb endings, present tense AR verb endings, okay? O, as, a, amos, ais, an. In Spanish, we are going to learn to conjugate verbs 6 different ways for each verb tense we learn, and we are learning the present tense, so talking about doing things in the present tense. So make sure you've got access to these endings so that you can use them. We're not going to do too much today, but I am going to have you conjugate some verbs for me 6 different ways. Or as I like to say, I'm going to have you chart them out for me. And all the verbs we're going to see are verbs we're familiar with. They're infinitives that we've already studied. So it shouldn't be too big of a problem, again, if you have an organized approach to La Clase de Español. All right, so, and I'll tell you why I've got these ARs crossed out in a moment. But these are all AR verbs that we've gone over that we know, all right? And I've got the AR endings marked out. Why? Because that's how you conjugate a verb, okay? So it's fine to have the AR in the infinitive form, but once you put a subject pronoun, all right, a yo, a tú, an usted, an ella, a nosotros, ustedes, okay, that's going to change the verb. And the process, the formula is, you take off the AR, and then you add the appropriate ending, all right? Take off the AR, add the appropriate ending, and that's going to depend on the subject pronoun that the teacher is asking you to use, okay? And I have AR verbs circled here because that's all we're doing now. Okay, but if you feel like right now, oh, we're doing this again, I already know my AR verbs. First, make sure that you know what all these subject pronouns mean, and that you have your endings memorized. But if you feel confident that you know those 2 things, you're welcome to go ahead and start looking at the endings of ER verbs like comer, which are slightly different if you'll notice, right? And you can look at the present tense endings of IR verbs like vivir, okay, which are very similar to ER, but have differences here in the nosotros and vosotros form. So if you feel like moving ahead, if you're feeling ambitious and you want to start memorizing endings for ER and IR verbs, I welcome you to do that. But I also welcome you to stay here and focus on the AR verbs with me, which is what we're going to do today. Okay, so when I tell you to chart out a verb for me in the present tense, this is what I mean. Okay. Hablar. You put it in all 6 forms. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, ella habla, usted habla. Nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis. Ellos hablan, ellas hablan, ustedes hablan. All right. If there's one thing that you guys could take away, I've been thinking about this question a lot, and I've been asking myself, okay, we're doing this distance learning thing. It's not as convenient as being in the classroom, but what if there was one thing that you wanted your 6th graders to learn before the school year got out at the beginning of June? And the answer I came up with was this: the conjugation of verbs, just the basic conjugation of an AR verb, knowing how to do it and knowing what they mean. If you can get that in 6th grade Spanish, that makes Mr. Snotty a happy guy. Of course, we're going to do additional stuff. We're going to introduce new vocabulary. We're going to, learn cultural things. We're going to learn historical things. I've got lots of fun stuff planned for you guys, but this is the real work that we got to do to advance ourselves in grammatical Spanish. All right, so I'm going to have you guys do some work for me using el verbo bailar. I'm going to have you conjugate it for me 6 different ways. Are you ready? Friends, how do you say I dance? Yo bailo. Muy bien. How about you dance? You informal dance. Tú. Good. He dances, she dances, él, ella, or usted, which you know is just like this one, except it's formal, as you learned from the last video and as you learned from me before. But the conjugation, okay, the ending of the verb is the same. So él, ella, usted, what is it? Baila. And the nosotros form, we dance. Bailamos. Y'all dance, you all. Okay, you're addressing a group of people who you would refer to by their first name. Vosotros bailáis. Okay, pronunciation, bailáis. Everybody say that after me, bailáis. Good job. And of course, ellos, ellas, ustedes bailan. All right? So notice if you have those endings written down, compare them to the endings I have in bold here. They should look exactly the same. We took off the AR. We're left with the stem or the root, which is bail, B-A-I-L. And then we just add our endings. It's a pattern. So if you get used to doing this, before you know it, you won't even have to think about it, and you'll just be conjugating verbs 6 different ways. Okay, let's look at the sentence. Bailamos el tango in Argentina. Oh, we're already gaining cultural knowledge. So el tango is a type of dance that they do in Argentina, which is in South America. So we dance, bailamos, nosotros bailamos, we dance el tango in, all right, which means what you think it is, in Argentina. All right, guys, let's keep practicing. Cantar. Okay, yo form of cantar, I sing. Muy bien. Tu form, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Eso es. All right. And let's look at the sentence. El niño canta en voz alta. All right. So that's basically saying the boy sings out loud. All right. And it looks like that he is indeed singing with pasión, with passion, into the microphone. All right. Patinar. Patinar. Another AR verb. Let's go. You know what to do. You're probably already thinking about what comes next. Yo form of the verb, please. Great. Tu form. Patinas. Él, ella, usted form. Patina. Nosotros patinamos. We skate. Nosotros patinamos. Vosotros patináis. 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 Ellos, ellas, ustedes patinan. All right. Simple sentence here. See if you know the meaning. Ella. All right. And remember, it's never pronounced ella. And you guys have gotten a lot better about that. Thank you so much. It's like a. All right. Ella. Ella patina muy bien. She skates very well. All right. So that's it. That's just a little warm up for the week. And I just want to make sure that these things are clear. And coming up on Wednesday, I think I want to introduce to you guys some more vocabulary words that we can take a look at and start practicing and start putting into use. And then, before we know it, we'll have a bunch of verbs and a bunch of vocabulary, and we can start combining them together. And then at some point next year, early on next year, when I have you guys for 7th grade, you're going to start creating your own sentences. It's going to make you feel very powerful when you create your own sentences in a foreign language. I know I did. I felt good when my teachers had me do that, and I did it correctly after trial and error. But it's a great practice. But you guys are on the right track. If you understand what went on today and the past few class days, then you're doing great, and I hope you have a nice rest of your Monday. Okay. Nos vemos el miércoles. Adiós.